All right, so here are my buppers. Her name is Dana's. All right, so the lovely thing that I have to deal with is my story is very long, but let's just gist it up from my homelessness. I moved up to Spencer to get away from an abusive partner here in Des Moines, and then my roommate up there was renting with his mother, or through his mother, and she was a terrible landlord. The flood happened. I ended up losing my job, and she was trying to force me to pay rent when the house was still not in livable condition because there was no furnace that was working in the basement. I have here. Let me just flip this around so you can see me. Wow. So I have been dealing with homelessness since basically the flood of last year, and me being a little crackhead, she gonna do the wiggle worms. Oh no, you're not. Hi, babies. Hi, baby girls. But she was trying to get me to pay rent. I told her no because I was not legally obligated to, and told her the laws that she needed to adhere to. And she wasn't listening. She said, "I'm doing everything right, and you're the one that's wrong." But either way, I told her, I was like, "I'm not leaving the house until you evict me." And she never evicted me. She sent me a notice to pay, of which is, well, not an eviction. It's a notice to pay, of which also wasn't legal. I talked to the sheriff of Spencer and also the courthouse, and both of them said that I was not evicted from the property. Then after that, I stayed with a couple friends for, what was it, like 2 weeks, I think. And then after that, I actually managed to get on some sort of like temporary help thing, and they had me camping in a tent. And I ended up getting a job at the time while camping in the tent, and I was supposed to stay at the campgrounds up in Spencer, and there was an abandoned RV camper trailer that was there, and it was unlocked, door wide open when I got there. So it was technically, in legal terms, free to enter. But I cleaned it out a little bit. I had my dog stay in there when I went to work because it was insulated and it was much cooler than in the tent. She was passed out and probably died of heat exhaustion in that tent. So I did what I could, but the police got all pissy that I entered the abandoned trailer, even though I tried to talk to the city and I tried to talk to the seller of the trailer to see if I could get the original owner's number so I could contact him and ask for permission. Obviously, that didn't happen, but either way, I ended up getting kicked out of the campgrounds. And then FEMA, that exact same day, got me on the housing program, and that was awesome. I ended up doing that for a little bit. I think it was like maybe a month before they then revoked my ability to be on their program because they said, "Oh, you were evicted from your prior home." Now, remember what I said. She sent me a notice to pay, not an eviction. So then I was like, all right, well, then if I was evicted, then prove it. Give me the paperwork. And they did not provide any paperwork or any proof. And then they said, oh, well, the house you were living in was still in livable condition. And I said, she lied to you. There was still not a working furnace in that house. So, again, prove it. But they kicked me off the housing program in the middle of winter, which is illegal in the state of Iowa and a lot of most northern states because winters are brutal. She put my life at risk because of her lie to FEMA. And I'm not going to state her name because there's no need to. But I then had 3 family members pay for 3 different weeks at the motel, which was like $800 a week. So because of her lie, I had to have over 1,000, almost 2,000. It was around $2,000 to pay for the motel room that I was in that I shouldn't have had to be paying for anyways because FEMA illegally kicked me off the housing program. But I've been trying my best to get back on my feet. So when I got kicked off the housing program, I ended up meeting up with a girl that I dated prior, and we thought we'd try it again. And I was able to stay with her at her place for a little bit. I got my dog associated with their dogs. And then the day that she left me on the side of the road was the day after my childhood best friend's funeral. His name was Parker Stoneburner. He was the gentleman that was shot and killed up in Ames. Sorry, that part really sucks still. I miss him a lot. But the day after his funeral, she left me on the side of the road, didn't let me go home and take care of my dog, because I knew that she would end up misbehaving or acting out when I was gone. Compose yourself. Hi, Dana. Hi, baby girls. Yes, I know. But she ended up acting out and attacking one of the smaller dogs that was there. And I even warned them that if they didn't allow me to come and see and take care of my dog every now and then she would start acting out, and they didn't heed my warning, and that happened. She is a good girl. I can associate her with other dogs. I have done it before. I can do it again. I also got a muzzle for her so she doesn't end up hurting anybody else. But after that, I end up living in the abandoned grain silo in Des Moines and was there for a while. And then I got into this current place that I'm in, of which I have to be out in 2 days. Anyways, some family was living here, and I was able to stay here for a little bit, and they're letting me stay and help clean up the place. But after this, I have nowhere to go. I have no funds to help with food. I won't have a roof over my head. I won't have any place for her to go, for me to even get a job so I can have funds. But I just need someone's help. That's really all I need, because I'm exhausted. I'm a hard worker. I can work just about any job. I've been a janitor. I'm a mechanic. I've done food service. I've done just about every job under the sun. So I can get a job without doubt, without fail. It won't be hard at all. But I just need someone that'd be willing to roommate with me or allow me to stay in one of their empty rooms at whatever place they're living and get back on my feet, because that's all I need. And then I can work on writing my book. I can work with my entertainment business. It's just YouTube, but there's so many things I want to be able to do, and I won't be able to do them with constantly being homeless and constantly trying to survive and not thrive. But yeah, that's the end of my video. Thank you to whoever has listened and watched this. It means a lot. I hope that you will be able to find it in your hearts to take me in and my lovely pup, and we can have a good life, good prosperous one. But thank you again, and this is Zachary Duff, or Dr. Insanity on my YouTube channel. Have a good night. Have a good day. Be safe, be sane. Would you stop touching my camera? Hi, baby girls. Yes, you want to hold my hand. All right. Thank you, guys. Thank you for listening.